Wait, so you think that there is a difference between your inner voice and your spoken voice?
Well,
Mo got into this on his podcast in the moment.
I did. And so I didn't know that at first. I didn't really think much about it until the conversation started flowing and I realized like, oh, okay, this is a thing. And I never noticed it. But it started with me basically asking Katie and Romeo on my podcast if they talk to themselves. Because I was trying to get a feel for not only do people talk to themselves often, but like, do you actually answer yourself? Like if you're walking around the house, do you legit have conversations with yourself? And I learned that some people do.
Out loud.
Out loud.
Uh-huh.
So that's how it started. And then they answered, and then it turned into, well, if you do talk to yourself, like not out loud in your head, what does that voice sound like? And my voice, my inside voice sounds exactly like me. So I kind of thought that's how everybody was.
That's mine. Mine sounds just like me.
Yeah, like it's no different. Like it's not a character.
No.
It doesn't have a different tone or anything. It's a bit negative. Like I wish my inside voice would be a little more positive at times.
Right.
But that's really it. So then when I asked Katie, I learned that her inside voice is a bit different.
Yeah, my inside voice is ratchet. So it's not like this. No, in my head, and if I'm talking to myself, it's like, girl, you need to do this right. You need to get this together. You got this today. So today we doing all like it's a whole different. Really? Yeah, she is a whole different person on the inside.
So it's like how Beyonce has an alter ego on stage, Sasha Fierce. Does this inside voice have a name, or is it still Katie?
No, I should name her.
Yeah.
Romeo.
Yeah,
you're in on that podcast.
Yep, and this is how my voice sounds.
Just all sexy. And
yeah, it's because I think a lot of times my voice is just trying to calm me down.
You making me uncomfortable, man. Go back to your normal voice.
Yeah, no, it's just we found it interesting because I did see, I think it was a tweet or something where there's certain people who don't have an inside voice, like they don't think out loud. Like it's weird. Like it's just like
they don't think in their head?
Yeah, like they just think like visually or something like that, where it's just like they don't hear themselves. And to me, that's so crazy because I hear myself.
Well, there are two levels to this because I have certainly not realized I'm talking to myself out loud until my fiance is like, "What'd you say?" I'm like, "That was out loud?" Then I started to get a little bit on the nervous side, like, what else have I been saying around people that's out loud? So, yeah, I've caught myself definitely talking to myself out loud, but my inner voice is the exact same.
It doesn't sound any different at all. So it's y'all. It's not, but a lot of people related to Katie because I got a lot of like women who said, nah, that's exactly how my inside, like almost as if their inside voice was how they wish they could always be. Like that's the person that you would always be if you never had to censor yourself, if you never had to be like more professional at times. Your inside voice is like you, just raw, unedited.
You want to be like that on the outside, Katie?
She's my hype woman. She's always hype, and I like that energy that's on the inside. Yeah, but it's not conveyed outside.
Cassie, do you have an inside voice versus an outside voice?
I do. Mine's like a little more... so it's very weird. I thought about this the other day. My speaking voice is actually not my real voice. And I realized that recently. My real voice is like much lower. Like if I didn't push at all, it really sounds like this. But I end up sounding like this and I don't know why. But so my inside voice is like my real voice. But yeah, back to what Romeo said, a lot of people have, it's called an inner monologue. And a lot of people don't have it. So, and a lot of people have it narrate their entire day. So I'm going to pick up this cup of coffee and I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to put it down. And then like, so in first person and it's their entire day, like it's somebody playing out their entire day.
Oh my God, if I had me talking in my head the entire day, I would lose my mind.
That's me.
So it's like Morgan Freeman in your head just giving a play-by-play of exactly what's going on?
Except the guy is a lot more negative and not as sexy sounding as Morgan Freeman.
Give me an example of what it might sound like.
Like, all right, Whit, okay, where'd I put my cup? Okay, I'll put it over there. Okay, I have to go get it. All right, now I need the coffee. All right, I have to put the coffee in it. Okay, now I have to remember to leave the coffee out so that it gets a little, like, room temperature and it's not going to be too hot. Okay, where's the coffee? Okay, there it is. Get it. Take it to work. Like, all day.
That's exhausting.
Cassie, do you do this?
Bless your heart.
Not to that extent, no. My inner voice likes to pick fake arguments with people and construct them. That's what my inner voice does to fill the time.
I do that too, and
See?
I win every time.
I need an example of this.
Oh man, no, I'm not gonna be able to pull one out for you this early. It's so sometimes it's so trivial and so stupid, and it'll be like, it's not nothing that's actually happened. You concoct this scenario and how you would act in this scenario So, like, if somebody was being rude to somebody else at Home Goods and I just happen to be in that aisle and then I interject and I, like, stand up for the other person and the other person gets put in their place and then because I literally saw a person in the aisle at Home Goods and I just concocted this entire...
So the whole storyline will break out in your head.
The one I do a lot is when I'm driving home and somebody is walking and they think I'm speeding, but I'm not because I've lived in this neighborhood for 11 years and I know the speed limit. And I stop and I get out of my car and I'm like, how fast was I going? I'm like, you don't know because you don't have a radar gun. And it's never happened.
Everybody's a little crazy, man. It's just, I mean, you really got to embrace it.
A little?
If it's not in one area, it's in the other area. Everybody's crazy.
That's a fact.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show on your favorite podcast platform. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us. I don't know what any of these buttons do, by the way.